Hey guys, what's up? Bigger Reviews here, back with another video. Today we're going to be talking about Season 10, Episode 1 of The Walking Dead. Walking Dead is back. Now, if you're one of those people that have to go to every Walking Dead related post and talk about how you don't watch it anymore, please don't. Just save us the time and go click another video. This is all positivity here and how this show's coming back or already is back. And this will be spoilers, so if you haven't seen it, go watch it and come back. But I have a little list here of things that stood out to me and things I want to talk about. And also, I tweeted out a thing of Rick, and it got a lot of likes, and shout out to both Walking Dead Twitter accounts from Skybound and AMC for liking and retweeting that, because it's getting a lot of traction, and that's really cool to see the Walking Dead community back. The first thing that popped out to me was the satellite. Now, the episode starts with a scene from space with the satellite crashing to Earth, a USSR, and that was really interesting. That's like the last thing I expected to see from the show, Walking Dead, is a satellite, but I think it's really cool. And people are going to say it's forced, but basically it ends up crashing to Earth, and they have to cross the border to go put the fire out. And then now Eugene's talking about how some of this technology can be useful, and I really like that. I mean, that's something people keep asking for, something new, and now we're getting something new. And yeah, I just really like that aspect. Now, if you guys, I stopped watching Fear the Walking Dead, but I watched season 2, and I remember this really. It's one of my favorite scenes in Fear the Walking Dead, is when Strand is on the yacht and he's talking on a radio, and actually a Russian astronaut, it gets on the transmission. They're talking together, and they're like, "Yeah, the world's fucked down here," and all that. And then they talk until he burns up, and that was a really touching moment, just to see, like, basically kind of enemies, I guess, us in Russia, and they're just talking and drinking whiskey, and that was a really cool thing. The next thing I really liked was, are we the good guys? I really like when the Walking Dead, the characters pose questions about themselves and like how they fit into this world. And I really liked how they talked about, are we the good guys? Michonne and Aaron are talking, because are we the good guys to other people's stories? And like, we always think yes, because we've been following them since day one. We've been following Rick's group since day one, and we always think they're the good guys. But if you think about it, sometimes they're not. Like, when it comes to the Negan group, the only reason Negan killed them was because Rick and them initiated the attack and killed some of Negan's men so they can get food. That's the only reason Negan attacked them. Now, if Negan found them first, then he would have been like, okay, here's 50% of your shit, but he would not have killed anyone with the bat. The only reason he killed people with the bat was because Rick and them killed like a whole section of his army. So technically, Negan was the good guys in that scenario at first. Not saying like what they did beforehand was bad, but they were technically the good guys at first and we were the bad guys. But I really like them posing those questions to each other. And yeah, the next is like the tone and the cinematography and all. I really like the tone, just seeing Rick's world come to life even more than we did in season 9. Like, all these communities together, you have radios, you have all this, and I just love how, you know, it's funny. It's just like the old Walking Dead episodes where there's action, there's also character growth. You just see characters talking to each other. I really like that. I love the cinematography, especially the opening scene of them on the beach, practicing their fighting thing, like with the shields. I really like that cinematography and choreography a lot, and you can really tell it's a step up from season 7 and 8. I keep saying this 7 and 8 because this is, a lot of people stopped watching in 7 and 8. This is probably my biggest gripe with some of the Walking Dead community. They stopped watching in season 7 and 8, and then they keep talking about how they hate the show. I'm sorry, I'm bleeding here, by the way, just ignore it. They keep talking about how they don't watch the show, but then they don't understand how season 9 and so far 10 is bringing the show back to its glory days, because we have a new showrunner and she knows what we want and it's delivering. But they just won't. They'll just keep saying they don't watch and think we care, which we don't. It's still, they think, you know, we used to get 15 million views an episode. Now we get about 5 million. They're acting like that's bad. That's still like the #1 show on television. I mean, come on. And it's better than the Game of Thrones. Next up is Rick's legacy. This is probably my favorite aspect of the premiere besides this whole satellite incident. I love Rick. You guys know he's my favorite character. I met him and all that. I really like how everyone is talking about Rick's legacy, like how, you know, they know that this is Rick's dream, was this community. And I really love the scene where Judith is telling Rick Jr. About the man on the bridge. It almost made me tear up, because then you see Michonne about to cry, and she comes over and hugs her kids. I just love that scene so much, and how Judith is carrying on her dad's legacy. And I also almost teared up when Michonne was on the bridge and she's like, I lost Rick on a bridge, and then like she cuts off. I really like that. Anything mentioning Rick is great, and since we know this is Michonne's final season, I think she's going to be going to the movies. That's my theory. Next up is Eugene and Baby. This was like a funny scene, really. Anytime Eugene's interacting with people, it always ends up funny. I really liked how he was like measuring the baby. He was tracking the baby's sleep charts and all that. And then like Rosita's breastfeeding and Eugene's looking over and he looks away. That was really funny to me, and That's the comedy I like in Walking Dead. Like they've been hitting the comedy the past 2 seasons, because some of the comedy in season 8 was not that good, and then the comedy with Negan was really good. It just got very repetitive. But now they're bringing the comedy with Negan back, but in a good way, which I really liked. Negan, you don't see a lot of, but you see him picking tomatoes, just like Rick's dream was in the season 8 opener with Negan eating or getting tomatoes in the garden. I really like that, and I'm glad to see Negan doing this. I can't wait till he gets released and fights Beta, just like the comics. My final thing is not knowing who the Whisperers are. Now, this is like, so you have to keep everything fresh. You can't just keep having them like, oh my god, it's walkers. Like, this episode is different because you don't know who's a walker and who's a person. So it's not just, oh my god, there's a horde of walkers, because they can take care of hordes of walkers easily. They don't know if this is a human disguised as a walker, or this is an actual walker. So you always hear Daryl talking about, watch the hands. I really like that aspect because it gives a little horror element. That's the Walking Dead horror element. And it gives a little tension and all that. I really like that, so it's just not normal zombies. I like the Alpha and Carol stare down at the end. That was really great. I got chills, and I'm excited to see Carol whoop ass this season, as she should. I really like Daryl and Connie's relationship. If you guys didn't notice, in Daryl's back pocket, he had the American Sign Language book, so he's learning. I really want him and Connie to get together. I've always seen him and Carol as like a brother-sister type thing, but I really like him and Connie. I think it was great. Anyways, guys, thank you for tuning in to this episode. I know my Walking Dead videos don't get that much traction compared to my Marvel stuff, but I still want to make the videos with my channel. You guys don't have to watch certain things. It's okay with me. But if you guys like the episode, let me know down below. If you haven't watched past couple seasons, they're all on Netflix, so go ahead and catch up, I would say, because it gets really good this past season, and I'm really hyped to see what the future holds for The Walking Dead. I'm glad it's coming back to its glory days. Thank you guys so much for watching. As always, it's been Joey. Have a good one. Bye-bye.